Thanks to a solomonic decision of 3 arbitrators, Queers Against Israeli Apartheid got to march in Toronto's Gay Pride Parade this year. Hallelujah! QuaIA's organizational aims are to support queers in Palestine and to make public the conditions of apartheid endured by Palestinians. B'nai Brith's organizational aims are combating anti-Semitism and promoting human rights. Nevertheless, B'nai Brith tried to stonewall QuaIA's participation in Toronto's Pride Parade, charging that QuaIA, by virtue of its name and aims, breached Pride's and the City of Toronto's anti-discrimination policy, as well as the Ontario Human Rights Code. B'nai Brith posited that the very words Israeli apartheid constituted slander and misinformation. However, B'nai Brith conceded the phrase wasn't hate speech, nor an incitement to hatred pursuant to the criminal code, because, well, there are actual legal tests for that. The rules of evidence had B'nai Brith at a bit of a disadvantage, this being an actual hearing and not a McCarthy show trial. QuaIA's star witness, Professor Sarah Schulman, a Fulbright scholar in Judaic studies and a human rights advisor at the Harvard Kennedy School, testified, "Any scholar of Jewish history knows that there has always been a diversity of opinion with respect to nationalism. B'nai Brith is taking a position on this issue similar to members of the Likud party." Slam dunk, Professor Schulman. B'nai Brith, once the NAACP of the diaspora, is now the thought police for the Likud and their bestest pals, the Harper gang. Of course, one of the Israel lobby's standard parries to accusation of human rights violations is that its LGBT population doesn't suffer the brutal oppression encountered in surrounding Muslim countries. No argument there. It's better to be gay in Israel than anywhere else in the Middle East. But that fact doesn't pinkwash demolishing Palestinian villages, usurping Palestinian land for illegal settlements, or bombing Gaza at election time. And B'nai Brith's meticulous documenting of anti-Semitism aside, Islamophobia is the new anti-Semitism, and many of Israel's ardent supporters aren't above promoting the trope of all Muslims being fundamentalist terrorists. What's really fueling B'nai Brith's litigiousness is that the boycott, divestment, and sanctions tactics that helped end South African apartheid might just as easily be organized against Israeli apartheid. B'nai Brith's attempts to stop QuaIA's marching in Toronto Pride was triggered in part by QuaIA's attempts to start a boycott of gay tourism to Israel. At the end of the day, B'nai Brith had bupkis when it came to evidence connecting QuaIA's activism to anti-Semitism. The arbitration panel concluded the activities of QuaIA are not contrary to the core missions or policies of Pride Toronto. Further, it found that QuaIA didn't present images or messages that promote or condone violence, hatred, degradation, or negative stereotypes towards any person or group. So, case dismissed. QuaIA marched in Toronto just as it had in the New York City Pride Parade the week before. Except in New York, nobody batted an eyelash. So see you next year, QuaIA. Shalom, B'nai Brith. In Toronto, for Rabble TV, I'm Umberto da Silva, not Rex Murphy.